Does your license need saving? Do the wise thing. Call Wiseman Lawyers. Does your license need saving? Do the wise thing. Call Wiseman Lawyers. Don't face that court alone. Let the Wiseman team get you back on the road. Does your license need saving? Do the wise thing. Call the Wiseman team at Wiseman Lawyers.
The young man who's engaged me today, he's been charged with driving on a demerit point suspended licence. Initially, when he contacted me, he told me that he'd been charged with driving on a SPUR suspended licence. The difference being, SPUR is an acronym for State Penalties Enforcement Registry. If you forget to pay a fine, SPUR will suspend your licence. The penalty range for being caught driving on a SPUR suspended licence is 1 to 6 months. So when I was initially contacted, my objective was to get the disqualification down to the mandatory minimum 1 month. But when I received the police brief, what had happened was the charging officer charged him with the wrong charge. What he was supposed to have been charged with was driving on a demerit point suspended licence, meaning someone who's run out of points and been given a demerit point suspension, and he was actually caught driving on a demerit point suspension, not a SPUR suspension. That carries a mandatory 6-month disqualification. Given my client's circumstances, he lives in the middle of nowhere, Carumba, which is 70 k's north of Normanton. He's a apprentice electrician, so without a licence he will be on the dole queue. So I just thought it was appropriate for me to try and negotiate with the police. So in layman's terms, plea bargain with the prosecutions. What I've done is I've made a written submission to police prosecutions explaining the situation, explaining the hardship that my client will suffer if he loses his licence, and basically painting a rounded picture of the law, my client's situation, and the discretion that the police have to amend charges where they see fit. I haven't got a response as yet, so me coming here is very much a gamble today, and obviously the negotiations will continue on the steps of court, but I'm confident that they're going to reduce the charge somewhat. The police accepted my submission, the better of the two suggestions, meaning they agreed to reduce the charge to unlicensed simpliciter, which you'll remember is the unlicensed base level charge. So yeah, so they reduce it to unlicensed simpliciter. So you'll remember when he first contacted me, he was facing a 1 to 6 month disqualification, and then that was raised to the mandatory 6 months for the charge that he should have been charged with, which was driving on a demerit point suspended licence. The police agreed to reduce that to driving unlicensed simpliciter, so base level, which carries no mandatory disqualification. But that said, the magistrate still has a discretion to give a unlimited disqualification. So the worst case scenario, even with the accepted written submission to the police, was a lifetime loss of licence, no mandatory minimum, and I was able to persuade the magistrate to give him a fine only, and that magistrate decided that a fine of $100 was appropriate. So no loss of licence. The only penalty was a fine of $100, but obviously he will have to pay the $110 offender levy which the Newman government brought in. So basically he's going to pay about $220 in court fees, no loss of licence, and obviously no loss of job.
Does your license need saving? Do the wise thing. Call Wiseman Lawyers. Does your license need saving? Do the wise thing.